of other steps are possible. So special speaker for special subject.
So, as Dimitri said, what I'm talking about is auto-correlation functions and running them. So the autocorrelation and the equation I have on here is just regular correlation, but if you would change the G to an F, it would be autocorrelation. Describes how similar the functions are as a change in time. And to get this, we need some codes, and so we need our MATLAB code, which is a correlation _V and then some number. You're also going to need your coupling files that I think Yulun explained how to get a couple weeks ago. And you're going to need the energy pop file, which you obtained from your geometry optimization runs. It's the same file that you would get your absorption spectra with. And you're going to get some output files, which are kind of covered up here. You're going to have some correlation files and RRR file. And I wasn't entirely sure how to integrate this into my talk, but I was asked to talk about the Bandel file, which is an integration of the par charge files. So it takes the par charge files and integrates them down to either 2 or 1 dimension. And the code for that is in the bin. The only place I could find where the code was in one of Yulun's old presentations. But I wasn't able to actually test it before I tried this or put this together.
Yeah, we need to agree on having public available repository so that we can standardize names and every of us can put updated version there. And
yeah, the only place I could find it was I was going through your YouTube links and it was on one of Yulun's old talks. It's the only place I could find
explanation.
The explanation.
The actual code you have, right?
The
method code to run stuff.
Make the correlations and the like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have this file. This is about the Bandel file.
Oh, okay.
So
there were no questions about definitions?
When you say it describes how similar the quantity is in space or time, what quantity would we use it for?
So it's describing the function.
Like a function of, like what function?
What it means.
So what would be the correlation of sine and cosine?
How much they overlap?
What's the number?
90 degrees. 0. Oh, I see.
Right? But if
Yeah.
you sine and sine,
Then they overlap.
then it's, if you normalize, it's 1, right?
Yeah.
So it really tells you the degree of like frequencies that coincide. And I think you use this so that you can see if your system has memory, because the autocorrelation function is used to see if there's like periodicity in your function, and if the non-adiabatic coupling terms are long, like if there's a lot of like hysteresis or memory, then green field, I think, whatever field you use.
Are you using hysteresis in memory kind of
Yeah.
synonymously?
Yeah, sorry, I should have not said that.
So
like memory.
I was going to ask you
Yeah.
hysteresis. So.
Yeah, so like if you do an autocorrelation function, then you will see which frequencies are like within the function that are clean. So like you might have noise, but the autocorrelation function tends to clean up that noise.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Nothing strange. Everyone is happy? So, since you have seen next slides of your talk,
Yep.
autocorrelation of which function you are going to find?
So autocorrelation of the energy of the orbitals.
It is Jabet and Levi clashing into each other about this one. You are going to find autocorrelation of some other function. In your green space input files.
Yep.
So what is XXX?
The coupling between the different positions. So
Coupling between different. Up to here it was correct.
coupling between different time steps in our molecular dynamics run.
Technically correct, but it's couplings maybe between orbitals or couplings between electronic and nuclear degrees of freedom. And what are XXX?
The number representing which specific time steps you're looking at.
Okay, so you have many of those files.
Yes.
So this non-adiabatic couplings along trajectory, along time line. And you are going to find autocorrelation of these non-adiabatic couplings.
Yeah.
Perfect. Do not hesitate to tell it again and again, with or without reason. So, what is how do the coupling files look like?
They're a string of matrices.
Okay, but if in this matrix you pick up one number, like element line 1, column 2, and compare it in each of these files along your trajectory. I know that most of us do not do this experiment, but imagine you do it. What you would see?
A decrease,
Mm-mm.
a increase,
Mm-mm.
a zero.
No, both. There is like. So if you would look on them, they will rapidly change. So for a given pair of orbitals, the amplitude of this coupling would be near some average value, but it will fluctuate or oscillate very quickly from time to time because of phase effects. And there is no a single point along the trajectory where the individual coupling file will be represented. So it will be very random. If you take like coupling between HOMO and LUMO and look at each point of time, it will drastically positive, negative, and we have avoided it in current version, but generally it is a complex. So it is oscillating in the complex plane,
Okay.
which is not comfortable for humans. So when it's an average procedure that extracts most reliable value of this intensity. So you are finding autocorrelation of non-adiabatic couplings, and the reason is because it is very noisy data. Yeah, thank you.
So this is the MATLAB code, and it continues on farther. And this is a fairly robust code. One of the major things we need to watch when we run this is we need to make sure to change this for our specific system. You have your HOMO, and then you have the lowest orbital you're looking at and the highest orbital you're looking at, much like the input overlap file.
So is there a reason why you have like twice as many unoccupied orbitals as you have occupied orbitals?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
just took this file as it was saved. Do you know if there was a reason?
Well, this is not a subject of his talk, right?
I suppose it could have just been like the same energy interval on either side, which just wound up being different numbers of orbitals.
But as soon as the specific researcher started computation of couplings, the code that computes autocorrelation cannot change and select different range. It's just matching input and output between different modules. So it's question why the couplings were computed for this strange range, but not to the code or not to the speaker in his current function.
So here we can see the correlation function. We see a rapid decrease, and then it fluctuates throughout. And if it gets smaller fluctuations as time goes through, go by.
Is there will be questions?
Is that a graph of the autocorrelation function?
Yes.
So someone in the audience will definitely ask 3 questions. What is x-axis? What is y-axis? And since there are so many pairs of orbitals in this coupling matrices, for which pair of orbitals one draws this autocorrelation? And it's fine to make the just best guess.
So x is a time step.
But it is not absolute time.
No.
It is offset. In your equation, it is like tau.
Yeah, it's a time step.
It's offset between your functions, right? 0 means it is the functions are selected to coincide.
And y is the overlap of the two time steps or orbitals. Or
Basically, the autocorrelation.
yeah. I do not know what orbitals we're looking at.
But maybe it's something frontier, like either
I would assume
like Luma to Luma plus 1 or
something close to the band gap, but I am not sure.
So is this a normalized autocorrelation function, or is it non-normalized?
No. Now you may want to ask Levi and Janet before going forward, like what they would expect from this figure before you show it, and how happy they are for the autocorrelation to drop down so quickly. And just listen what you ask yourself and look at that.
So to me, this says that your nonadiabatic coupling terms are non-correlated. So there's no like memory in the system because it's not really periodic. So if you took the FFT of this, you wouldn't really get any frequencies that are dominant because it's pretty much just white noise. The other thing that I kind of am learning to be pickier on is the time your protein. So you probably didn't run these calculations, but the more I do autocorrelation function, the more I know that the protein has to be smaller than it needs to be for classical / quantum approximation for dynamics.
So if you would redo this calculation yourself, you would select a team like 100 times smaller,
No, like it looks like
or 10 times smaller, to focus on the. To have the
it
more
looks
con-
like the protein was 2. 1? Okay. So maybe half of a femtosecond. But when I was doing mine, Patrick ran 5 femtosecond, and then if you try and do dephasing off of the autocorrelation function, you get nothing.
And so in your experience, how quick autocorrelation function for your orbital energies, how quick it decreases? Here it decreases instantaneously. Within
Yeah, ours doesn't do it as like if you do energy of orbitals, then it's much longer.
How many? Here it's about 1 femtosecond, and in your case, it's how long will it take to drop down?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
Like
It-
10, 100, 1,000.
it's probably like 100. So like drops off pretty quick, and then it
5 of 10.
oscillates still. So it's kind of like an exponential function and a sine,
Mhm.
where you, like your fit for tau for the exponential is like 1, where ours is like 50 or something. But it's since I've talked to you about autocorrelation function for nonadiabatic couplings, it doesn't surprise me.
This is much shorter.
Yeah.
No more questions? Then let's go forward.
So here we see the same graph, except in this one, the x-axis is a logarithmic scale. And what this allows you to do is see the early time steps much better.
So that's the same thing, just zoomed in.
It's the same thing, except the x-axis is logarithmic now.
So 1 is 10 femtoseconds?
Yeah.
Everyone seems happy.
So one of the other outputs from the file is the Redfield tensor.
Maybe not one of the main.
Okay, the main. And I have 2 representations of that here. And once again, the difference between it is this side uses a logarithmic scale in the z-axis, where this side does not. And if we look at it, the x and the y are orbitals, with the HOMO and LUMO being in the middle. 10 and 11 looking at it.
Is there a scientific reason why you do log of r plus 17? Or 17 just so that you can visualize it?
Last one.
Just so you can visualize it.
I was going to ask that because I tried that once, but it just gave like, it didn't give bars. It gave like just planes.
So yeah, it gives you all these extra peaks off to the side here that you don't have on just the straight number.
Right.
So is 17 special? Because
Not that I know of. Probably.
Yes, it is magic number.
no, but looking at the non-log, it goes only to 0.1.
And 17 should be out of brackets. No?
Oh, you add 7?
17 should be out of brackets. Like logarithm r plus 17.
No, because it only goes up to 5. It's less than 5 if you go like 0, 20.
What's the point of shifting if I said?
Oh wait, no, yeah, you're.
Would you like to explain to this first?
For Ri is a very small number to visualize it just to say the 17. It's a very small coupling, so it's not visible in the picture. Therefore, not
David, you don't have chance to raise the voice. David, you're right. So the left figure shows that for human eye, everything except main subdiagonals looks like 0. And if you take log, it will be like 10 to minus 17.
What is the importance of that tiny coupling compared to the diagonal?
It is extremely important, and it is the only way why we, I want to believe that we are more competitive than Nathan and his boss. So,
Landon is not here.
so there are alternative ways to do the same. How Professor Nsibi repeats in public, there are several ways to skin a cat. I do not make this analogy. So there are several ways to compute non-adiabatic couplings and dynamics of excited state. And in the group of Zakrzewski, one practices non-adiabatic couplings as a response of electronic structure to the shift of system along normal modes. So one assumes that upon thermalization, there is only excitations in the harmonic nuclear vibrations. While at our side, we do not care. This molecular dynamics may have unharmonicity. And if one processes couplings under harmonic approximation, then several transitions are completely disabled. Not to numerical precision, but they are absolute 0, 10 to minus 3 times. And as soon as unharmonicity is brought in, the some transitions become non-favorable, but still possible. 10 to minus 17, when Jevon is asking the meaning of this small but not 0 values. And if we practice couplings based on trajectory, then air photo excitation will always relax to homo lumen, and then if our code allows, it will recombine from homo to lumen. While in the normal mode approaches, there are some sub-gaps, for example, between lumen plus 1 and lumen, that do not match in resonance are not in resonance with any of normal modes, and transitions will be absolutely disabled. So the system will get stuck on, let's say, lumen plus 1 or lumen plus 10, and will never go forward. And this is unfeasible. So as soon as normal modes approach doesn't run into this little difficulty, then normal mode is really good because it is, goes along with all definitions and things. But this approach allows to overcome it and even not to think about it. Very good question. Okay. Sorry for interrupting. Okay. Any more questions to the speaker?
If you take a autho-correlation function of very correlated system, what kind of graph you are expecting compared to whatever you got now in slide 4?
One that should be close to 1 throughout.
Yes. So it
And
No.
it will,
It will-
periodically it should
it
go
will
Yeah.
drop to zero, not as quick, but very slowly. So it will drop and approach to zero at much longer time scale.
Now, I would say that it oscillates between 1 and -1.
If you consider mathematical example,
Yes.
and but if you look on any practical
But-
examples with a little bit of noise, it will always
But
increase.
the time that it drops does not relate to the correlation. It relates to the frequency at which the function goes up and down. So it could still oscillate crazily, but it's
But it will be periodic on this.
Yes, it will be more
Either have a
periodic.
constant phase
it
difference.
won't drop slowly if the frequency is fast.
So sine and cosine would be correlated because as you shift, they'll come in and out of phase
Yeah.
with each other.
Yes. But it really depends on the frequency. Because that will dictate how fast it moves up and down. And then, like if you look at the envelope function, that would tell you what's going on.
Now you see how they can keep discussing for hours and days and weeks. Kevin, you will need to do the same calculation in like hours or days. So if you have any questions, ask. Does it seem reasonable, the procedure? Or you need to practice before you ask?
I need to practice before I ask.
Okay, let's thank David once again.